The pre-movie trailers and ads have gotten more and more ridiculous. Homer had been eating popcorn for over half an hour and still hadn't seen the feature film. Unable to take it anymore, Homer rushed up and started banging frantically on the movie screen. He even rallied the audience below to join him. The theater was well prepared for audience disturbances. The staff each grabbed a chocolate bar, determined to beat the ringleader into submission, lest thousands of future ringleaders emerge. But Homer's footwork was nimble, and he immediately ran out of the theater. Thinking he had shaken off the staff, Homer couldn't resist turning back to taunt them. However, what awaited him ahead was a statue.
My mouth! My beautiful mouth!
Excellent bout. Now we go party.
After examining him, the doctor said Homer's jaw was broken. He would have to wear a retainer to keep it fixed for a while. During this time, he couldn't speak and could only eat liquid food. Upon hearing this, Homer immediately ran to the suicide machine. But the doctor said that with Homer's weight, sitting on it wouldn't do anything anyway. Back home, Homer cut himself a piece of steak, but no matter what he did, he couldn't get it into his mouth. In the end, he actually stuffed the steak up his nose and ate it that way. One day, Homer was drinking at the bar. The Duff Beer spokesman was holding a trivia contest at Moe's Tavern. Anyone who answered the question correctly would win a lifetime supply of Duff Beer. When Homer heard the question, he knew the answer. But with the retainer on, he couldn't speak. Homer missed the grand prize.
I never would have figured that out.
That's the kind of thing you just gotta know.
But the retainer also brought Homer many benefits. For instance, he learned to patiently listen to Marge talk. He could also feed Maggie. Watching Maggie learn to speak was so adorable that Homer couldn't resist wanting to give her a kiss. But his retainer got hooked on Maggie's pacifier. After stopping, Homer found a new pacifier in the drawer and put it on Maggie. Just then, Lisa came home looking angry. Homer noticed and asked Lisa what happened. Lisa was shocked by Homer's behavior, but she still told him what had happened at school. After listening, Homer simply gave Lisa a hug. But even just a hug was enough to warm Lisa's heart. The speechless Homer was like someone who had one door closed, but other channels opened up. Not only did he play with toys alongside Bart, but he could also quietly contemplate what Bart was really trying to express. Sometimes he even patiently listened to Abe tell stories. Marge was very satisfied with Homer's recent behavior. She was confident enough to take Homer to the town dance. Although Homer had made a fool of himself on stage last year, at least now he was well behaved with the retainer on.
I better polish those jaw wires for tomorrow.
Tonight, Homer's look for the dance was stunning, but compared to his improved appearance, Homer's inner growth was even more remarkable. Today, he didn't mock anyone's glass eye. He even turned down delicious snacks. Homer simply stayed a quiet, handsome gentleman and danced with Marge. Then that donkey from last year came again to tempt Homer into making a fool of himself. But Homer was no longer the Homer he used to be. The donkey walked away, dejected. The doctor waltzed over with elegant steps and told Homer he could remove the retainer tomorrow. But for Marge, this wasn't exactly good news. The doctor removed Homer's retainer.
Ooh, Homer. Your breath smells terrible. I have to take off my shoes to cover the odor.
Nicely done.
Homer went to the bar for a drink and shared his insights with everyone. Listening and patience are the secrets to happiness in life, and one must keep at it. One day, when Marge came home from shopping, the house wasn't in chaos. She almost felt uncomfortable.
I'm gonna kill you!
Just when she thought Homer was about to cross the line, Marge hurried to intervene. But Homer was just rehearsing a play with Bart. Everything was perfectly in order, and Marge suddenly felt a bit disappointed, as if something was missing from life. After a while, Marge actually found this kind of life too boring. Homer now started drinking milk at 7:30 in the evening and getting ready for bed. He had completely changed, and Homer would never do crazy things anymore. Marge couldn't adapt to this kind of life. She lay in bed, tossing and turning, unable to fall asleep. Then a registration form for a demolition derby appeared before her. Without a second thought, Marge left.
Marge is gone! But at least the demolition derby form is... What? No!
Marge put on her helmet, got in her car, and headed to the competition venue, wearing safety gear to do something very unsafe. She was about to compete against the town's toughest thugs. Marge crashed into cars while cursing up a storm. She felt this was what life should be like, but unfortunately, her car couldn't match her craziness. A domineering black car started ramming into Marge non-stop. Homer, who had rushed over, witnessed Marge trapped in the demolition arena. Lisa saw this and wanted Homer to save Marge, but he didn't know what to do now.
What do I do? What do I do?
Bart knew there was something that could help him get his groove back. After drinking the beer, Homer instantly felt empowered.
This beer's delicious. I'm gonna save me way. Now let's get this show on the road.
Homer appeared at the arena riding the donkey, but unfortunately, the donkey was no longer the crazy donkey it was last year, and Homer's weight was even crazier than last year. He took out a beer and poured it down the donkey's throat, but the donkey wasn't the type to get excited after drinking. It just fell asleep on the spot. Homer would have to walk the rest of the way himself. Marge frantically waved for Homer to come save her. Just as the black car was about to ram into Marge, Homer jumped onto the car and successfully rescued her.
Oh, isn't it great to have the old dad back? I thought you liked the new dad. Whatever.
Marge now understood that life needs a little craziness, but she clearly wasn't suited for the role.
That's okay, Marge. You're a good wet blanket. kind I like wrapped around me.
The fire alarm went off at the Simpsons' house. Homer quickly woke up his family, but Lisa was in a real dilemma. With a wall full of trophies, she couldn't decide which ones to grab. Bart, on the other hand, had no such worries and simply ran out carrying the dog. The whole family piled into Homer's car, only to discover there was no fire at all. Homer had pulled a false alarm just to trick them into going to a beer festival. Bart and Lisa tried to get out, but found that Homer had the door handles on his side. Soon the Simpsons arrived at the beer festival. Before entering, each car had to designate a driver. The person responsible for driving home would be placed in a cage to ensure she wouldn't sneak any drinks. Although the kids couldn't drink, they could still experience what being drunk felt like. Bart was strapped into a spinning space chair, and when he got off, his gait and posture were exactly like someone who'd had too much to drink. The main event of the festival was a bartending skills competition. The 3 contestants that day were a muscular strongman, a beautiful woman carrying heavy loads, and finally, Moe. Despite Moe's first-rate pouring technique, he was no match for the woman next to him. To keep things fair, the earlier events were worth fewer points. The final event, the drunk tossing contest, would determine the winner. Scrawny Moe couldn't even lift Barney, so he had to use a spiked club to give his buddy a little help. He still fell short, but Barney's tongue created a miracle.
All right, guys. 1, 2, 3. Moo! Lenny, you were supposed to be E.
See what happens when you skip rehearsal?
Moe became the ultimate winner. His face would be printed on the next beer calendar. The photographer took a headshot of Moe. It was unbelievably ugly.
That's a mug you don't want to chug.
Knock it off, Larry. We can't put this face on our calendar.
Moe returned to the bar and waited anxiously. Homer finally brought back the latest beer calendar. Moe took down his expired business license, ready to hang up the calendar in its place. But when he opened it, he found his photo had been covered with labels, and not just one layer. Moe peeled off the last label and nearly cried at how ugly the photo was.
Oh, it's all relative. Is Lenny really that dumb? Is Barney that drunk? Is Homer that lazy, bald, and fat?
Oh my God, it's worse than I thought.
See, this is why I don't talk much.
Moe looked at himself in the mirror with dissatisfaction. Cauliflower ears, a lizard mouth, beady rat eyes, and caveman eyebrows. Even Moe couldn't stand looking at himself. Lenny suggested he get plastic surgery. This was a wake-up call, and Moe immediately went to a cosmetic surgery clinic. The doctor looked at Moe's face and was a bit stumped. His face didn't need adjusting, it needed rebuilding. But fortunately, the doctor loved a challenge. After devising a surgical plan, Moe lay down on the operating table. The moment had come to reveal Moe's new look.
Beautiful.
Okay, now do Mo.
Phew, for a second there, I thought Moe had changed his gender too. Once the bandages came off, Moe's appearance had undergone a complete transformation. The nurses bid farewell to the handsome man. This was the first time Moe had ever been called handsome. Walking out of the hospital, Moe could hardly believe it. He even wondered if he had died on the operating table. Homer put his arm around Moe's shoulder and welcomed him to the club of good-looking guys.
A new life, a second chance for revenge.
The newly handsome Moe tracked down Duffman. He wanted Duffman to experience what it felt like to have labels slapped on his face. Moe went on a revenge spree, determined to make everyone who had looked down on him regret it. Of all his acts of vengeance, what Moe cared about most was Channel 6. Back in his acting days, Moe had gone through endless auditions, but the moment he opened his mouth, he'd be shown the door. The director had said, "What kind of freak is this? The ugliness I want is artistic ugliness, not real-life ugliness," and Moe had overheard that very remark. Those words had been etched deep in his heart ever since. Now, he finally had his chance for revenge.
Extreme closure.
Moe confronted the director and let her have it. Upon seeing his face, the director immediately apologized and decided to make Moe a leading man from then on. He had finally waited for this moment. Meanwhile, Homer was still pouring gasoline in the background.
Homer, whoa, Homer! Change your plans!
Whatever.
The TV show starring Moe won over a massive audience. He became a dark horse in the entertainment industry and began living the good life. When Homer and the gang came to Moe's tavern for drinks, they found Moe surrounded by beautiful women with no time to even pour drinks for customers. Homer had to serve himself. One day, Moe asked Homer to help him rehearse lines. Ever since he became handsome, not only had his confidence grown, but his acting skills had improved rapidly too. Now, Homer looked at Moe and felt like he was falling for him. Just then, a crew member came to deliver a script to Moe. It was a top-secret storyline. Moe opened the script and was pleased with the earlier plot points, but then he discovered the writers had killed off his character. Moe decided to fight back. That day, Moe was filming as usual when the doorbell suddenly rang. Standing at the door was Homer, dressed as an angel who could predict the future. The two put on quite a show for the TV audience, spoiling every plot point from the secret script. This infuriated the director so much that she cut the live broadcast immediately. The two were still gloating, unaware that Moe's character was only supposed to die in a dream.
What?
Pink pages always mean a dream.
I see. So, what time tomorrow?
Only then did Moe learn the truth. The furious director ordered security to throw both of them out. Moe threatened that he didn't care about this lousy show anyway. As handsome as he was now, he could land a lead role in any show in Springfield. In a fit of rage, Moe slammed the door and stormed off. Suddenly, a wall toppled backward and landed right on Moe's face.
Oh, my face! I'm not supposed to put weight on it!
Everyone rushed to lift the fallen wall. Moe's reconstructed face had been smashed right back to its original form. Marge was successfully chosen as the calendar girl. Her stunning figure won over a large number of fans, and even Sunday church visits turned into meet and greet events for Marge.
Only everyone loves my calendar, but only you get to flip the pages.
When Homer heard about the calendar, his mind was entirely occupied with Carl's schedule. Marge passionately kissed Homer, only to find that he had fallen asleep. The following evening, Homer was still preoccupied with Carl's work arrangements. Marge said she had a way to help him relax.
Wash my car, refoam my latte, book me a massage, shiatsu or better. Leave me alone, you two!
She could only let out a helpless sigh. To make it up to Marge, Homer booked a very unique hotel. Just as Marge let down her long hair to show off her charm, Homer started yawning.
You touch me.
Okay, kiss me, baby. Kiss me like a frog in a fairy tale.
Two soon became intimate, but suddenly Homer's phone rang. He received a voicemail from Carl and immediately grabbed a pen and paper to jot down the schedule. Marge felt neglected and silently switched the room's mood setting. That day, the company's supervisor retired, and Mr. Burns had to choose a new supervisor from among Homer and his two colleagues. After careful consideration, Burns selected Carl as the new supervisor and handed him the golden key reserved for supervisors. Carl seemed to see a powerful, privileged version of himself reflected in the key.
We can celebrate at Moe's. After work.
Carl changed into a suit and got his own private office. When Homer came to chat with him as usual, he was scolded by Carl. Carl then promoted Homer to be his administrative assistant.
Why can't I keep the job I have now, whatever it is?
Not an option, big fella. Either you're my assistant or you find a job elsewhere. And in this economy, elsewhere ain't hiring.
Oh, fine. I guess I'm at your beck.
And call.
No!
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Marge was discussing with the neighborhood ladies about raising funds for obese children. Milhouse's mom suggested they follow the example of the police department's Fitness Men calendar. Everyone agreed it was a good idea.
They are a good-looking bunch.
Soon they arrived at the photo studio, but for the calendar to sell well, the cover needed to have some appeal. When it was Marge's turn, she had wrapped herself up from head to toe. The photographer felt helpless and suggested that Marge loosen up a bit.
Fine, I'll take off one glove.
He then brought out some red wine, attempting to use alcohol to break through Marge's conservative mindset. After a few glasses, Marge completely let herself go. She bared her shoulders and struck sexy poses.
Pop goes the chupacabra.
Marge totally lost herself. Every time the photographer gave her a compliment, she would remove another piece of clothing. In the end, she even revealed everything. One day, while Marge was out shopping for clothes with the kids, she noticed a large crowd gathered at the shopping center. Upon closer inspection, she discovered that she had been chosen as the calendar girl.
I don't remember doing this. I certainly don't remember doing August.
After becoming an assistant, Homer always came home late. The next day, he even had to go on a week-long business trip. Homer promised he would make it up to Marge when he returned. Marge couldn't believe that Homer was willing to spend a week with another man.
Hey, it's not like I want to go. Go, go, go!
In her anger, Marge threw a hammer, which accidentally hit Flanders, who was up early. To apologize, Marge invited Flanders over for dinner. By then, Homer had already arrived in Paris. He followed Carl to a party, where he served as Carl's walking encyclopedia.
Yes, thank you for asking.
A gorgeous woman came over to strike up a conversation, and with Homer's help, she was completely won over by Carl. Seeing this, Carl asked Homer to dance for entertainment. After the party, Carl fell completely in love with Paris. He had Homer arrange to extend their hotel stay, then left with the woman from the party. Homer walked the streets alone, and everywhere he looked, he saw Marge's image. Flanders' skilled knife work earned Marge's praise. Marge asked Flanders to wash some cabbage, but water accidentally splashed on both of them. Marge was instantly drawn to Flanders' muscular physique. The two couldn't help but move closer to each other. Just as they were about to kiss, the microwave's timer interrupted them.
Saved by the bell from eternity in hell.
When Carl called Homer again, Homer had already returned to Springfield. Carl threatened to fire him, but little did he know that the woman who had approached Carl was actually the French president's wife. If Carl fired Homer, Homer would report him to the French Parliament.
You wouldn't dare.
Oh, wouldn't I? Just listen. Hello, you are getting cozy with Sarkozy?
Okay, you win.
After dinner, Marge brought out strawberries and cream. The two thoroughly enjoyed the delicious strawberries. When cream got stuck on Flanders' mustache, Marge thoughtfully wiped it off for him.
Your perfectly trimmed mustache.
Fortunately, a photo on the wall stopped them from going further. Marge showed Flanders to the door, and this scene happened to be witnessed by Homer. But Homer had complete faith in his wife.
Homer, you're back.
Hey, Ned. Marge, I believe we have a little unfinished business. Come with me.
Oh.